Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector or just someone who loves fascinating stories about rare treasures, today's episode is for you. We're diving into the world of rare coins, and specifically, one that could make you a millionaire if you have it in your collection. That's right, today, we're talking about the famous 1986 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and how it could be worth a whopping $1.4 million. Now, how crazy is that? Stick around to learn all the juicy details, and maybe, just maybe, you'll check your coin jar afterward. So, let's start with the basics. Normally, every US coin has a mint mark, right? That tiny little letter indicating where it was made, whether it was from the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, or the San Francisco Mint. But what if you found a coin that was supposed to have a mint mark, but doesn't? That's exactly what makes the 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so special. In 1986, the U.S. Mint was producing the famous Abraham Lincoln pennies, as they do every year. But, here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck without the usual mint mark. Now, this wasn't intentional. In fact, most of these coins were likely produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't add a mint mark to its coins. However, the lack of the mint mark on a penny meant that this coin is far rarer than it should have been. As you can see here, the spot where the mint mark should be, right next to the date, is completely blank. This little error, while seemingly small, made these coins incredibly rare. Okay, so why does this one little mistake make a penny worth millions of dollars? Well, it all comes down to rarity and the way coins are valued by collectors. Normally, mint marks are added to coins to indicate where they were made. It's a simple way of tracking production and ensuring everything's running smoothly. But when a coin doesn't have the mint mark, it breaks the pattern, and it becomes an anomaly, like missing mint marks, double strikes, or misaligned dies, are incredibly sought after by coin collectors. The more scarce and unusual the error, the higher the demand and, consequently, the higher the value, and remember, the vast majority of 1986 pennies were made with the mint mark. So, only a small number of these no-mint mark coins made it into circulation. As the years passed, their rarity only increased. Now, for those wondering, the 1986 no-mint mark penny is far from a regular penny. The one that made headlines and was recently valued at $1.4 million is a graded specimen in excellent condition. But before we get into that specific coin, let's talk a bit more about the coin's unique history. In 2020, a particular 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny caught the attention of the entire numismatic world. This coin was graded by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or NGC, as being in mint state 68 condition, meaning it's nearly perfect. The coin was sold at auction for a staggering $1.40 million. So, how did this specific coin get to that kind of value? Well, first of all, it's incredibly rare to find any coin in mint state 68 condition, especially a penny that's been in circulation for so long. This coin was so well preserved that it looked like it had just been struck by the mint that very day, and that pristine condition is exactly what collectors want. A higher grade equals a higher price, and this 1986 penny had everything going for it: rarity, condition, and of course, the missing mint mark. But, here's the kicker, it's not just any coin that can fetch that kind of money. The one that sold for $1.4 million had a fascinating backstory. It was discovered by a collector who had no idea it was such a rare find. In fact, he almost didn't get it graded at all. He was just going through his collection, when he noticed that this 1986 penny didn't have a mint mark. He decided to send it off for grading, and the rest, as they say, is history. So, how can you identify a 1986 no-mint mark penny in your own collection? Well, it's all about paying attention to the details. First, of course, you need to make sure it's a 1986 penny. That's the first step. Then, look for the date and check where the mint mark is supposed to be, to the right of Abraham Lincoln's portrait. If it's missing, congratulations, you might have one of these elusive error coins. Just because your penny doesn't have a mint mark doesn't mean it's automatically worth a fortune. It still needs to be in great condition, with minimal wear and tear. Coins that are well preserved, without any scratches, discoloration, or heavy circulation marks, are the most valuable. It's also important to note that not all 1986 pennies without a mint mark are created equal. Most of these coins are worth just a few dollars, especially if they're in lower grades. But if you happen to have one of those super rare, high-quality examples, you could be sitting on a goldmine. So, what exactly makes any coin, including the 1986 no mint mark penny, valuable? It's a mix of a few key factors. The rarer the coin, the higher the value. In the case of the 1986 no mint mark penny, the lack of a mint mark makes it unique. Condition: the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A coin in pristine condition will fetch far more than one that's been heavily circulated. Demand: there's a large group of collectors who are always looking for rare, error coins. The demand for these pennies skyrockets the rarer they are. Historical significance: in some cases, the story behind the coin adds to its value. The fact that this 1986 penny was a minting error and made it into circulation adds a layer of intrigue for collectors. So, to sum it up, if you have a 1986 penny without a mint mark, take a moment to check its condition and get it evaluated. You never know, it could be worth far more than you think. Well, that wraps up today's deep dive into the fascinating world of the 1986 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Who would have thought that such a small error could result in such a massive payday, right? If you found this story as intriguing as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible coin tales. And, if you happen to have one of these rare coins, let me know in the comments. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next lucky millionaire. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes peeled for those rare finds. Happy collecting! Hey, coin collectors, enthusiasts, and treasure hunters. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you love discovering hidden gems in the world of coins. Now, you might think that a penny is just a penny, right? Well, not quite. If you've been keeping an eye on the coin market lately, you might have heard something absolutely wild about a 1981 penny. Yes, the Abraham Lincoln penny. That could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Sounds like a crazy story, right? Well, today, we're going to dive into that very penny, explore why it's worth so much, and talk about how you can potentially find one for yourself. Let's get into it. So, what exactly is so special about the 1981 penny? It all starts with something that might seem insignificant at first: the mint mark. Most U.S. coins are made at one of three U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The mint mark indicates where the coin was produced. For example, the D mint mark is for coins made in Denver, and the S mint mark signifies coins produced in San Francisco. Coins minted at the Philadelphia Mint traditionally don't have any mint mark, which makes them stand out in certain years. Now, let's talk about the 1981 penny. The vast majority of pennies made that year have a D mint mark because they were produced at the Denver Mint. But, there's a rare and very mysterious phenomenon that occurred in 1981. A number of pennies were accidentally struck without any mint mark. Now, you might be wondering, how could this happen? Well, it turns out that some pennies in 1981 were mistakenly made without the D mint mark. Some experts believe this was a result of a few coins that were struck from a die that didn't have the D mint mark engraved on it, or maybe the minting machinery malfunctioned. Whatever the cause, this led to a small number of these pennies being struck with no mint mark at all, and that's where things get interesting. So, how rare are these no mint mark pennies? Well, that's the key. Even though the 1981 penny without a mint mark is incredibly rare, it's not something you'll find in every coin roll or every collection. Experts estimate that there are just a handful of these misstruck coins out there, maybe as few as just a couple dozen. It's incredibly hard to find one. Because of this, collectors started taking notice as word spread about these rare finds. As soon as people realized that these coins were out there, they began searching high and low for them, checking their pocket change, and even going through coin rolls in search of this rare anomaly. And what did they find? Well, when someone finally found one of these elusive 1981 no-mint mark pennies, it sent shockwaves through the coin-collecting community. These pennies were in such high demand, and collectors were willing to pay top dollar for them. Here's where things get even crazier. You've heard of rare coins being worth a few $1,000s or maybe even hundreds of thousands, but this 1981 no-mint mark penny went for $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny, worth just 1 cent when it was first minted, sold for over $1 million. This particular 1981 penny, which had no mint mark, was sold at a major coin auction. The price skyrocketed because of its extreme rarity and the fact that only a few of these coins are known to exist in the market. It became one of the highest prices ever paid for a modern US coin. So why exactly is it worth so much? A few factors come into play. First, rarity is king in the world of coin collecting. The fewer there are of a certain coin, the more valuable it becomes. In this case, a mistake like a missing mint mark makes the coin incredibly rare. The fact that only a few of these exist, and they are extremely difficult to find, makes them highly sought after. Second, condition plays a huge role. The higher the grade of a coin, the more valuable it is. A coin in mint or near mint condition will fetch a much higher price than one that's worn or damaged. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and the better the condition, the higher the price. If this penny was in pristine condition, it could increase the value exponentially and, of course, there's the historical value and the collector's market. As the coin collecting world continues to grow, the demand for rare, historical, and unusual coins also grows. It's a niche market, but it's one that's willing to spend big bucks on coins like this. Now that you know the story behind the 1981 no-mint mark penny, you might be wondering, how can I spot one of these myself? First, check the date, it needs to be 1981. Then, look for the mint mark. You should see a small D above the date, signifying it was minted in Denver. But on the rare penny, there will be no mint mark at all. The lack of the D is the telltale sign. Also, make sure to inspect the coin carefully to see if it has the typical signs of wear and tear or any other irregularities that could be indicative of a misstruck coin. If you happen to find one of these, get it professionally graded by a reputable coin grader. Grading experts will determine its value based on its condition, rarity, and other factors. And trust me, if you find one of these in good condition, you could be holding a small fortune. And just in case you don't find that elusive 1981 no-mint mark penny, there are other valuable pennies you should keep an eye out for. For example, the 1909 SVDB Lincoln penny, which can fetch thousands of dollars if it's in excellent condition. Or the 1955 double die penny, another famous error coin that's worth a lot. The key takeaway here is that coin collecting is full of surprises, and there are valuable coins hiding in plain sight. So, to sum it up, the 1981 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a truly rare find. If you come across one, you could potentially have a coin worth millions. It's a great reminder that even the most common-looking coins can have a huge value if they have the right characteristics. So, keep looking through your coin collections, and who knows, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. If you liked this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up, share it with your fellow coin collectors, and let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing coin stories and tips. Hey, coin collectors and enthusiasts! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we have something truly exciting for you, a penny that could be worth more than just a few cents. In fact, it's currently valued at an incredible $1.1 million. That's right, folks. This is not just any penny. We're talking about the 1968 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, and believe it or not, this tiny piece of history could put a huge dent in your bank account. Stick around, because in this video, we're going to break down the rare circumstances that led to this penny's sky-high value, how it became so valuable, and what you need to know if you think you might have one of these $1,000,000 coins hiding in your collection. So, let's first dive into a little history. The 1968 Lincoln penny, as you might know, was part of a series of coins produced during a time of significant change in the United States Mint. In 1965, the U.S. Mint made a critical decision to switch from using silver to a copper-nickel alloy for most of its coins. This change was due to a national coin shortage, and the Mint had to come up with a quick solution. By 1968, the transition was well underway, and the new Lincoln pennies were made with this new copper-nickel blend. However, something unusual happened that year. In 1968, pennies were being minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of these coins were stamped with the traditional P mint mark, but there was one particular variety that set things on fire in the numismatic community. And that is the D mint mark. At first glance, this looks like your typical 1968 D Lincoln penny, but this one holds a big secret. And that secret comes from a tiny mistake in the production process. See, most of these coins are pretty standard and worth just 1 cent. But there's a special version that has made collectors' jaws drop. What sets this penny apart? The answer is in the die used to stamp the coin. You see, the 1968 D penny, in particular, was affected by what we call a double die error. Double die errors occur when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during the production process, resulting in a double image on the coin. For the 1968 D Lincoln penny, this meant that the Lincoln portrait and the lettering, including the Liberty and In God We Trust, were slightly doubled, giving the coin a unique and rare appearance. Now, not every 1968 D penny has this error. In fact, most of them are perfectly fine, and you could easily mistake them for a regular, everyday penny. But for those that have this double die error, things get interesting. And by interesting, I mean really valuable. So, what makes this coin so valuable? Well, first, let's talk about rarity. Only a small number of 1968 D pennies with this double die error were ever produced. And, as you can imagine, finding one of these coins in your change is like finding a needle in a haystack. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for these rare pieces, and when one surfaces, it can fetch a jaw-dropping price at auction. In fact, one of these 1968 D double die error pennies recently sold for a whopping $1.1 million at a major coin auction. That's right. A single penny, a coin that was originally worth just 1 cent, sold for over $1 million. So, how does that happen? Well, it's all about the rarity of the error, the condition of the coin, and the demand among collectors. The coin that sold for $1.1 million was in incredible condition, grading at an MS-67, which is considered mint state, meaning it had almost no wear and tear, with sharp details and a stunning appearance. Now, here's where it gets tricky. If you're hoping to get rich by finding a 1968 D penny in your pocket change, you need to know how to spot the difference. Look for signs of doubling on the date, the word Liberty, and the motto, In God We Trust. If these areas appear to have a doubled image, you've got yourself a potential winner. If you think you might have a 1968 D penny with this error, it's important to get it authenticated. There are professional coin grading services, like PCGS or NGC, that can examine the coin and determine its authenticity and value. Getting it graded could be the key to unlocking its true worth. Of course, not every 1968 D penny with a double die error is going to be worth $1.1 million. In fact, most are worth far less. But even a more modestly graded coin with the error could still bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on the condition and demand. So, what should you do if you think you've got one of these rare pennies? Well, first, hold on to it carefully. Make sure it's stored in a safe, protected space, and then have it graded by a professional. From there, you can decide whether to keep it in your collection or potentially sell it. Remember, coin collecting is about more than just making money. It's about preserving history and appreciating the craftsmanship that went into making each coin. Whether your 1968 D penny is worth $1 million or just 1 cent, it's still a fascinating part of American history. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an exciting episode. And if you've got a 1968 D penny with a double die error, or any other rare coins in your collection, drop a comment below and let us know. We'd love to hear your stories. Hold on to your hats, coin collectors. Imagine you're walking through a flea market or browsing through a coin jar, and you stumble upon a 1989 penny. Looks like a typical penny, right? But wait, what if I told you that this seemingly regular coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? No, this isn't a typo, and yes, it's very real. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1989 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and exploring why it has caused such a stir in the numismatic community. Before we get to the big reveal, let's first understand what exactly we're talking about when we say a no-mint Mark penny. To the untrained eye, this may just seem like a simple coin with Abraham Lincoln's face on it. However, there's something very unusual about this particular penny. Mint marks, as most collectors know, are small letters stamped onto coins to indicate where they were produced. The most common mint marks for U.S. coins are D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. But sometimes, coins are minted without a mark at all, like this rare 1989 penny. In theory, every U.S. penny minted in 1989 should have had a mint mark, either D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia. But that's where the mystery begins. In 1989, all pennies were expected to be minted with a D if they were made in Denver or without a mint mark if they were made in Philadelphia. However, some collectors began noticing something strange. A few pennies from that year were missing any mint mark altogether, even though they should have had one. After some inspection and deep analysis by experts, it was discovered that a small batch of pennies from 1989 was struck without any mint mark whatsoever. Now, this may not seem too big of a deal at first, but in the world of coin collecting, this error immediately caught the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike. So why is a 1989 penny with no mint mark such a big deal? Well, it all comes down to rarity and error. In the numismatic world, coins that are considered errors or mistakes can be worth a lot more than regular ones. Think about it like this: the fewer of something there are, the more valuable it becomes. Now, imagine a coin that was supposed to have a mint mark but doesn't. That automatically makes it far rarer than a normal 1989 penny. The fact that such a coin slipped through the cracks in the minting process has caused the value of these no mint mark pennies to skyrocket. Coin collectors all over the world have gone on a treasure hunt, seeking out these elusive 1989 pennies without mint marks. You can imagine the thrill of stumbling upon one, especially in a jar of loose change or a box of pennies someone might have casually overlooked. Despite being fairly rare, these 1989 no mint mark pennies have been popping up at auctions, and when they do, collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. But it's not just the rarity of these coins that makes them valuable, it's the sheer mystery surrounding them. And now, here's where the story takes a jaw-dropping turn. In 2023, a 1989 penny without a mint mark sold for an astonishing $1.5 million at a high-profile auction. Yes, you heard that right, one single penny, minted in 1989, with no mint mark, went for $1.5 million. How did this happen? Well, the coin in question had been certified by professional graders, who confirmed that it was indeed a genuine error penny with no mint mark. The combination of rarity, the mystery behind its existence, and its pristine condition led it to reach this incredible price. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare pennies sitting in your coin collection or loose change? Well, the first thing you'll want to do is look carefully at the reverse side of the coin. Make sure there is no mint mark at all. Normally, if the coin was minted in Philadelphia, it would simply not have a mint mark, but all other years should have either a P, D, or S. If it's missing, you've got yourself a potential rarity. Another important step is to have your coin authenticated by a professional grading service. Even though it's exciting to think you might have stumbled upon $1 million penny, authentication is key to confirming its value. Now, let's break down why this specific error is so valuable. First, there's the rarity. Very few 1989 pennies without a mint mark were ever made, and even fewer survived in good condition. Second, there's the mystery. Why was this coin made without a mint mark? Was it a mistake, or is there a more complex explanation behind it? That uncertainty adds to its intrigue and appeal. And finally, there's the collector demand. Numismatists and investors alike are constantly on the lookout for rare and unusual coins, and a 1989 no-mint mark penny fits that bill perfectly. So, are you feeling lucky? The possibility of finding a 1989 no-mint mark penny is exciting, but remember, it's extremely rare. While it's unlikely that you'll come across one in your pocket change, keep your eyes peeled at coin shows, auctions, and estate sales. Who knows? You might just uncover your very own $1 million treasure. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a casual hobbyist, coins like the 1989 no-mint mark penny remind us that there's always a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin-related content. Hello, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got an exciting topic for you, something that might surprise a lot of you. We're talking about a specific penny, the 2014 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Most of us think pennies are just pocket change, right? But what if I told you that this one penny has sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million at auction? Yes, you heard that right, $1.7 million. So, how did this happen? How can a penny, which is so common, become a rare, $1 million coin? Let's dive into the story of this remarkable coin and explore how you can spot rare pennies yourself. Let's start by taking a look at the 2014 D penny itself. This coin is part of the Lincoln Cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. Over the years, there have been a lot of different varieties, designs, and mint marks, some worth just a few cents, while others are worth thousands or even millions. So what makes this particular 2014 D penny so valuable? You're probably thinking, it's just a regular penny, right? Well, here's the twist, it's all about an error. A very rare minting error that turned this penny into a rare treasure. The coin that fetched $1.7 million was a 2014 D mint mark penny, which is a regular, everyday coin. However, in this particular instance, a significant error occurred during the minting process, making it a one-of-a-kind find. This error caused the coin to have a rare characteristic that most collectors and coin experts didn't even know about until it was discovered. But what exactly was the error that made this penny so valuable? The 2014 D penny had a double die obverse, a rare minting error where the design on the front of the coin, in this case Abraham Lincoln's portrait, is imprinted more than once, creating a double image. This double image happened because the die used to stamp the coin had been misaligned or shifted during the minting process. Normally, this happens in very rare instances, but when it does, the result is a coin that collectors will eagerly fight to get their hands on. Here's an example of what you're looking for. On a regular 2014 D penny, Lincoln's face is sharply defined, and the details are clear. But with the error coin, you'll notice that the portrait of Lincoln appears twice, once in the correct position, and again slightly shifted or overlapping. This double die effect is what makes the coin stand out from the rest. Now, you may be wondering, how rare is this type of error? And more importantly, how can you spot it if you come across a similar coin in your collection? First, let's talk about rarity. Out of the billions of pennies minted every year, only a tiny fraction will have a significant error like this. This makes the coin extremely rare. Experts estimate that only a handful of 2014 D double die pennies were made during the minting process, and even fewer have survived in pristine condition. And when it comes to rare coins, the condition matters. A penny that is in mint state, without scratches, dings, or damage, will fetch a higher price than one that's been worn down by years of circulation. So, what makes this specific 2014 D penny worth $1.7 million? Well, after the penny was discovered, it was carefully examined and authenticated by professional numismatists, coin experts who specialize in evaluating rare coins. Once it was confirmed that this penny had the double die error and was in nearly perfect condition, it quickly became one of the most sought-after coins in the world. At an auction, this penny was sold to a private collector for a staggering $1.7 million. It's a record-breaking sale, and it highlights just how valuable an error coin can be when it's rare, in perfect condition, and of the right year. Now that you know about this amazing 2014 D mint mark penny, you might be thinking, how can I find rare coins like this in my collection? Well, the key to discovering valuable coins is paying attention to the small details. Take a good look at your pennies. Examine the mint mark, which is located on the reverse side of the coin, near the bottom right. The mint mark tells you where the coin was made. D stands for the Denver Mint. Then, check the obverse side for any signs of errors, such as double die cracks, or misaligned designs. Another important tip is to look for coins that are in mint condition. If you come across a coin that looks nearly brand new, that's a good sign it might be worth something more than face value. And don't forget to store your coins properly. Keeping them in a safe, dry place will prevent them from becoming damaged over time. Before we wrap up, I want to emphasize that the 2014 D Lincoln penny worth $1.7 million is an extraordinary example. Finding a coin like that is incredibly rare, but who knows? You might have some hidden gems in your own collection. Always keep your eyes peeled for errors, and who knows? Maybe the next $1 million coin will come from your pocket change. Thanks for joining me today, and happy hunting for rare coins. See you in the next video, where we'll explore even more fascinating stories from the world of numismatics. Hey there, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of rare coins, especially those that can make you a fortune, you're going to love today's video. Now, we've all heard stories of rare coins turning up in people's pocket change, but what if I told you there's one particular coin that could be worth up to $1.3 million? Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's true. Today, we're talking about the 1982 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it has shocked the numismatic world. Grab your magnifying glass, because we're diving deep into what makes this coin so special, and why its value is skyrocketing. Before we dive into the mystery of the 1982 no-mint mark penny, let's first talk a little bit about the history of the 1982 Lincoln penny. In 1982, the U.S. Mint underwent a significant change in how pennies were produced. For over 30 years, pennies were made out of 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, due to rising copper prices, the mint decided to make a transition, introducing a new composition of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper. This meant that in 1982, there were actually two types of pennies being produced. There were the copper-based pennies, made before the transition, and the zinc-based pennies, made after. In total, there were also two different kinds of mint marks for pennies in 1982, the Philadelphia Mint, which typically had no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, marked with a small D on the reverse side of the coin. But here's where things get interesting. Most of the pennies made in 1982 were minted in Philadelphia and are without a mint mark, which is pretty typical. But there is one particular error that has had collectors scratching their heads for years, the 1982 no mint mark penny. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a penny with no mint mark? Well, as it turns out, the 1982 no mint mark penny has an incredibly rare and significant mistake. In 1982, some of the pennies made in the Denver Mint, which should have had a D mint mark, were accidentally sent to the Philadelphia Mint for striking. These pennies, despite being produced in Denver, were mistakenly left without the D mint mark that they were supposed to have. This minting error has turned the 1982 no mint mark pennies into one of the most valuable errors in U.S. coinage history. What makes these 1982 no mint mark pennies so valuable? Well, rarity is a big part of it. As you can imagine, mistakes like this don't happen often. The coins that were mistakenly produced without a mint mark are exceedingly rare, and that's what drives their value through the roof. Another reason for their high value is the sheer number of collectors who seek out rare coins. For a penny that should have been minted with a D, but didn't have the mint mark, the error creates an enormous buzz in the numismatic world. You see, when a coin like this surfaces at auction, collectors get into a bidding frenzy, knowing that a single penny could make the millions of dollars that in fact, the 1982 no mint mark penny has made headlines for being sold at an incredible price, up to $1.3 million. That's right, a penny, a single penny, is worth more than a mansion in some parts of the world. If you're lucky enough to find one, you could be holding on to a small fortune. Let's talk about how you can identify if you've got one of these rare 1982 no mint mark pennies. First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You'll want to look at the reverse side of the penny, where the mint mark should appear. If you see no mint mark and the penny has been made in 1982, it's possible you have one of these rare error coins on your hands. But wait, don't get too excited just yet. Not every 1982 penny without a mint mark is the rare error. The majority of them were simply made in Philadelphia, as the mint intended. The difference comes in how the coin was produced. The error pennies have characteristics that differ slightly from the regular 1982 Philadelphia mint pennies. If you think you might have one, it's always a good idea to get it evaluated by a professional. The market for rare coins, especially something like the 1982 no mint mark penny, is hot right now. Auctions and rare coin dealers are constantly looking for error coins to sell to high-profile collectors. But how do you get your hands on this kind of money? If you think you've got a 1982 no mint mark penny, you could try selling it at auction or contacting a reputable coin dealer who specializes in rare and error coins. Some of the most well-known auction houses, like Heritage Auctions, have been involved in selling these incredibly rare coins for astronomical prices. However, if you've got one of these pennies, be sure to have it authenticated before putting it up for sale. Mistakes can happen, and you want to make sure you're getting the real value for your coin. So, there you have it, an inside look at the amazing 1982 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and how it could make you a millionaire. The world of coin collecting is filled with hidden gems, and this penny is just one example of how a small mistake can lead to a huge payout. If you enjoyed learning about the 1982 no mint mark penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more cool coin stories and tips. And, of course, if you think you might have a 1982 no mint mark penny lying around in your collection, now's the time to start checking. Who knows, you might have $1 million coin in your hands. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin enthusiast, then today's video is one you won't want to miss. We're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, and specifically, we're going to talk about a penny that's worth way more than a penny. Yes, you heard me right, the 2013 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, which is now valued at a jaw-dropping $1.60 million. How did this happen? What makes this coin so special? Let's find out. To understand how the 2013 no mint mark penny became so valuable, we first need a bit of context about the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over the years, this penny has gone through a few design changes, with the most significant being in 2009 when the U.S. Mint released a special 4-coin series to honor Lincoln's life and legacy. Fast forward to 2013, and we see the regular Lincoln cent design, which features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union shield on the reverse. But 2013 saw something very strange that would eventually lead to a coin becoming a massive collector's item. Now, the 2013 penny was struck in Philadelphia, which is one of the U.S. Mint's main facilities. Normally, you'd expect to see a D mint mark for coins produced in Denver or an S for those made in San Francisco, but in 2013, something odd happened. A few pennies were struck in Philadelphia without any mint mark at all, completely missing the P that would indicate it came from the Philadelphia Mint. This was not supposed to happen. The US Mint has processes and procedures in place to ensure each coin has the correct mint mark. So, when this error occurred, it caught the attention of coin collectors around the world. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so a penny was made without a mint mark, why does that make it so special? Well, the 2013 no mint mark penny is extremely rare. In fact, it's estimated that only a handful of these coins exist, and most of them were discovered by eagle-eyed collectors who spotted the mistake. Because the coin was struck without the mint mark, it immediately became a mystery. The US Mint has not confirmed how many of these were actually made, which only adds to their rarity and appeal among coin collectors. Some estimates suggest there are fewer than a dozen of these coins still in circulation today. The rarity factor is huge. Experts in numismatics, or coin study, were quick to realize that the 2013 no mint mark penny could become a highly sought-after collector's item. When it comes to rare coins, collectors are always on the lookout for unusual flaws or mistakes, especially if they're linked to the US Mint. In fact, some of the rarest and most expensive coins in the world have been sold for millions due to minting errors. These kinds of errors make a coin even more valuable because they are a symbol of rarity and historical significance. And the 2013 no mint mark penny was no exception. So, how did this particular penny reach an eye-popping value of $1.60 million? Well, in 2018, a 2013 no mint mark penny was sold at an auction, and the bidding was fierce. Collectors and investors who understand the value of rare coins were willing to pay a premium for this unique piece of US history. In the end, the coin sold for $1.6 million, a price that stunned both the numismatic community and casual observers alike. The buyer, most likely a private collector or an investor, now owns a one-of-a-kind piece of US Mint history. But this sale wasn't just about a single coin, it also shed light on the growing market for rare, error-based coins. So, what makes the 2013 no mint mark penny worth millions of dollars? There are several key factors that contribute to its astronomical value. Rarity. As we've already mentioned, this is a rare coin. The number of 2013 no mint mark pennies still in circulation is extremely low, which drives demand and pushes the value sky high. The minting error, the absence of a mint mark, makes this coin a historical anomaly. Coin errors are highly collectible, and the more unusual or impossible to replicate the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. Historical significance. The penny itself is already a key part of American currency history, and the error adds another layer of importance to it. As time goes on, coins like this will only grow more valuable due to their rarity and cultural significance. So, there you have it. The 2013 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny isn't just a mistake, it's a rare treasure that collectors will continue to seek out for generations. If you're a coin collector or just a fan of unique historical items, this is definitely one coin to keep an eye out for. Who knows, maybe you have one hiding in your change jar or collection right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin stories, and let us know in the comments what you think about this incredible $1.6 million penny. Would you pay that much for a single coin?